They were slow dancing at my anniversary party, his hand on her lower back, her head on his shoulder, while I stood there holding our wedding cake. That's when I knew my 10-year marriage was a lie. But instead of crying, I planned something they'd never see coming. Before I tell you how I became a ghost at my own funeral, hit that subscribe button because this story gets wild. And stick around till the end, because the revenge, chef's kiss. Now let me take you back to where it all started. My name is Gabrielle, and for 10 years I thought I was living the dream. You know the kind, beautiful house in the suburbs, 2 successful careers, the couple that everyone said they wanted to be like. I was a marketing director at a firm downtown, and my husband Trevor was this charming real estate developer who could sell ice to an Eskimo. We had the Sunday brunches, the couple friends, the Instagram posts that made people double tap and comment relationship goals. But here's what I've learned. The prettier the picture, the uglier the truth hiding behind it. It started small, like it always does. Trevor working late more often. His phone always face down on the table, that perfume smell on his collar that definitely wasn't mine. He'd say it was from hugging a client. When I'd try to be intimate, he'd suddenly be too tired or too stressed. And whenever I'd bring up my concerns, he'd flip it on me. Baby, you're being paranoid. You know how demanding my work is. Why don't you trust me? And like a fool, I'd apologize. I'd actually apologize for noticing that my husband was pulling away. Our 10th anniversary was coming up, and Trevor insisted on throwing this massive party at our house. I'm talking 80+ people, full catering, the works. I thought it was sweet at first, like he was trying to make up for being distant. I should have known better. For weeks I planned everything while he was too busy, but always on his phone, smiling at the screen like it was telling him jokes. The red flags were there, honey. They were practically slapping me in the face. I just didn't want to see them. The night of the party, I spent hours getting ready. I had this stunning emerald dress that hugged every curve. My hair was laid, makeup flawless. I wanted to remind my husband why he married me. I wanted us to look at each other the way we used to. Our guests started arriving and everyone was having a good time, but Trevor was late to his own anniversary party. When he finally showed up, he wasn't alone. He brought her. This young woman named Lauren, maybe 28, blonde, bubbly, with this innocent act that made me want to throw up. He introduced her as a business associate, but the way he said it, the way his whole face lit up when he looked at her, I felt something crack inside my chest. And she was wearing this necklace, this delicate gold thing with a small diamond, and I swear to God I had seen the charge on our credit card. I thought he bought it for me. I was waiting for him to surprise me with it. But there it was, hanging around her neck. I watched them all night, the way they had inside jokes that made them laugh just a little too hard. How his hand would find the small of her back when they walked past each other. The whispers. I saw my friends noticing too. My best friend Denise kept giving me these concerned looks, asking if I was okay. I kept saying yes, kept playing the perfect hostess, but inside I was screaming. Then came time to cut the anniversary cake, this beautiful 3-tier thing I had spent days picking out. I looked around for Trevor and I couldn't find him. I walked through my own house like a ghost, holding this cake knife until I found them on the balcony. They were standing so close, talking in low voices, and he reached up and touched her face. Just this gentle, intimate gesture that he used to do with me. They didn't even notice me standing there, watching my marriage disintegrate in real time. When they came back inside, people were waiting for us to cut the cake. And instead of coming to me, instead of being where he should have been, Trevor pulled Lauren onto our living room floor and they started slow dancing. Not to our wedding song, but to some song they apparently both loved. My guests went silent. You could hear a pin drop. People were looking at me, looking at them, not knowing what to do. It was the most humiliating moment of my entire life. I finally walked up and interrupted them. "Trevor, we need to cut the cake." My voice was shaking. And you know what he said? "Lauren and I were just discussing a property deal. You're being dramatic." Then Lauren, This woman who was slow dancing with my husband at my anniversary party had the audacity to look at me with these wide, innocent eyes and say, "Oh my God, I had no idea you'd be upset." We were just dancing, at my anniversary party, wearing the necklace my husband bought her. People started leaving after that, making excuses, avoiding eye contact. The party died right there. When the last guest left, Trevor went straight to the guest room without a word. I stood in my living room surrounded by half-empty champagne glasses and decorations that said "Happy Anniversary," and I realized I was mourning something that had been dead for a long time. I couldn't sleep that night. Around 3 in the morning, I went downstairs and saw Trevor's laptop sitting open on the kitchen counter. He never left it open. It was like the universe was handing me the truth on a silver platter. So I looked, and what I found destroyed me. Emails. Hundreds of them. Going back 18 months. Love messages, hotel reservations, intimate photos, trips I thought were for business. They were together. There were messages about me too. Trevor writing things like, "She'll never suspect. She's too trusting." Lauren responding, "I can't wait until you finally leave her. Then we can be together for real." There were messages from the week before the party. Lauren, "Are you sure about bringing me to your anniversary?" Trevor, "It'll be fine. I want you there." She doesn't pay attention anyway. I sat there reading until the sun came up, and something inside me shifted. The crying stopped. The hurt turned into something colder, sharper. I called my sister Monique, and she came right over. "Take him for everything," she said. But that's when I hit another wall. We had a prenup. Trevor had insisted on it before we got married, said it was just smart business. If I divorced him, I'd get almost nothing. Even with proof of the affair, it would be messy, expensive, and drawn out. But there was one thing I remembered. A $2 million life insurance policy we'd taken out on each other years ago. Now, before you judge me, I wasn't actually planning to hurt anyone. But that policy made me think. And that night, I was watching this true crime documentary about a woman who faked her own death to escape an abusive situation. And that's when the idea hit me. Not for the money. I never planned to claim that insurance. But for something better. To make him feel exactly what I felt. To expose him in a way he could never spin, never gaslight, never lie his way out of. I spent 2 weeks planning it. I only told Monique because I needed help, and she's the only person I trust completely. We researched everything. How missing persons cases work, what makes them believable. I decided on a hiking accident. I was into photography and would often go alone to this state park a few hours away to take nature shots. It was perfect. Remote, dangerous terrain. History of accidents. During those 2 weeks, I had to act normal around Trevor, which was the hardest part. But honestly, he made it easy because he was barely home. He'd stopped pretending. Some nights he wouldn't come home at all, and when he did, he smelled like her perfume. I documented everything. Photos, recordings, screenshots of every message. I saved it all to a cloud account he didn't know about. I opened a bank account in my maiden name. I created an email that would auto-send on a specific date and time. When I told Trevor I was planning a solo weekend trip to go hiking and clear my head, you know what he said? "That's great, babe. I've got showings this weekend anyway." He didn't ask where I was going, didn't ask if I needed company, didn't ask anything. He just seemed relieved to have me gone. The day I disappeared, I drove to the state park early in the morning. I parked my car at the trailhead, left my phone inside with the location services on so it would ping there. I wore my hiking boots down a trail toward this rocky cliff area, made sure my footprints were visible. I even tore a piece of my jacket and left it on some rocks. Then I hiked back a different way to where Monique was waiting 3 miles down the road. I cut my hair short and dyed it dark. And just like that, Gabrielle was gone. The first 24 hours were the hardest. Staying hidden at Monique's basement apartment, knowing people were looking for me. The park rangers started a search. Local news picked it up. Beloved community member missing after hiking trip. I watched Trevor's interview on TV. He stood there in this designer suit saying all the right words about being worried and hoping I'd be found safe, but his eyes kept drifting to his phone. And I knew he was texting her. Later, Monique hacked his phone using this app I'd installed weeks before. He was texting Lauren, "This might actually work in our favour. Give it a few months, we can be together without the messy divorce." They were already planning their future while people were out searching the woods for my body. They never found a body, obviously, because there wasn't one. But after a week, they called off the active search. My family was devastated. My mama was crying on TV begging for information. That part almost broke me. But I reminded myself why I was doing this. After 2 weeks, Trevor organised a memorial service. I sat in my car across the street from the church, wearing sunglasses and my sister's oversized coat, and watched people arrive. My family, my friends, my colleagues, everyone crying, everyone mourning. And then I saw Trevor pull up, in a designer black suit, with Lauren on his arm, at my funeral. He brought his mistress to my funeral. I watched the whole thing from that car. People going in, coming out, dabbing their eyes. It lasted about an hour. And that's when my email went out. I had it scheduled to send 1 hour after the service started. It went to everyone, my family, friends, Trevor's business partners, his boss, even his mother. The subject line said, "I'm not dead, but my marriage was." The email explained everything, that I was alive and safe, that I faked my death not to commit fraud. I never filed an insurance claim, but to expose the truth. And attached to that email was everything. Screenshots of Trevor's messages with Lauren going back 18 months. Photos of them together on trips. A recording from the anniversary party where they were laughing about me. Timeline of the affair. And here's the kicker. Photos from the last 3 days showing Lauren had already moved into our house. Into my house. 3 days after my memorial service. But I saved the best for last. A video. Trevor had organised this intimate dinner at our favourite restaurant the night before the memorial, supposedly to honour my memory. Instead, he proposed to Lauren. At what was supposed to be a dinner remembering his dead wife, he got down on one knee and proposed to his mistress. Someone at the restaurant recognised him and recorded the whole thing. They sent it to Monique out of disgust. That video was attached to the email. I waited exactly 30 minutes after the email sent. Then I walked into that church. My hair was different. I'd lost some weight, but it was clearly me. I walked down that centre aisle and the room went completely silent. People's mouths literally dropped open. Someone screamed. And Trevor. Oh, you should have seen his face. First shock, then this flash of rage, then pure panic as he realised what I'd done. Lauren ran out crying. Several of Trevor's business associates walked out after her, their faces showing exactly what they thought of him. My family rushed to me, not knowing whether to hug me or yell at me. My mama did both. But a lot of people, especially the ones who'd gotten that email, they started clapping, standing up and applauding, because they understood. They saw what he'd done, what they'd both done. The fallout was beautiful. Trevor's business partners dropped him immediately. Their contracts had ethics clauses, and parading your mistress at your wife's funeral definitely violated those. The Real Estate Commission launched an investigation into his dealings. Turns out, when people started looking close, there were some shady financial practices too. His license got suspended. Lauren left him within a week. Turns out she was in it for the money and status, and both of those disappeared real quick. I filed for divorce the next day. And this time, I had all the leverage. Documentation of the affair, proof of emotional abuse, evidence of him trying to exploit my death for financial gain. That prenup didn't protect him from his own actions. I got the house, fair division of assets, everything. His reputation in our community? Destroyed. The man who everyone respected, who could charm anyone, became the guy who brought his mistress to his wife's funeral. As for me, I got job offers from 3 different cities. Turns out, When you make national news for the most dramatic exit of all time, people notice. I took a position in a new city, sold the house, and started completely over. I cut my hair even shorter, started dressing different, feeling different. I'm dating again, taking my time, learning to trust my instincts. And I'm happy. Actually, genuinely happy. People ask me if I regret it, if faking my death was too extreme. Here's what I tell them. Sometimes you have to die to finally start living. That woman who let herself be gaslit and humiliated, who made herself small to keep a man happy, she needed to die. And the woman who walked into that church, who exposed the truth and took her power back. She's who I was meant to be all along. Trevor lost everything. His business, his reputation, his comfortable life. He has to rebuild from nothing, and everyone knows exactly what kind of man he is. Lauren's known now too, the woman who dated a married man and showed up at his wife's funeral. Meanwhile, I'm out here living my best life, stronger than I've ever been. So that's how I went from doormat to ghost to phoenix rising from the ashes. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just getting even, it's getting free. If this story resonated with you, smash that like button and subscribe for more real talk. Drop a comment and tell me, would you have done the same thing? And hey, if you're going through something similar, you're not alone. You're stronger than you think. Until next time, remember, they can betray you, but they can't break you. Peace.